welcome to the Predictive Playbook. I'm your host, John Ryan, starting off with show number 1 of a heavy slate of shows that are yet to come today. Next up will be DJ Big Boss from the West Coast, and that's why I'm putting on the Lakers shirt out of respect to him. And there's just a ton of shows coming today. The 4:30 show is becoming our flagship show. That's the end of the day show where we recap all the guests and the shows that we appear on with Rob Vino and Tony Finn of Wager Talk, and occasionally Steve Merrill, Ski Prophet of Wager Talk, is also an NBA expert over at Wager Talk and does very, very well. And there's too many names to even mention that have contributed to the growth and the greatness of these shows. It's I'm hosting them, and I'm kind of like a host and a contributor. So if you can, to help out the guests too, make sure you get over to the YouTube channel, Predictive Playbook, or search Predictive Playbook under John Ryan, and give us a like. We like the likes. It helps the analytics, obviously, and it just makes the show that much more popular. And you'll get more action in the chat room with having more people exchanging ideas. Is what makes us all betters. So for the NBA play of the day, and before I get there, I would be it would not be good if I didn't mention that today is the 35th anniversary of Michael Jordan's 63-point losing effort at the Boston Garden. They lost 135 to 131. They covered as 14-point dogs. Now imagine a Michael Jordan team in the playoffs as a 14-point dog. And that was because the Larry Bird Celtics that season lost just one game at home the entire season in 1986. So what makes this game even more remarkable is he scored 63. And, just for a second, how many three-point attempts do you think he took? If we had a whiteboard up and you could say it, actually you could say it in the chat room. Maybe I'll save that for the end of the show. In the chat room, if you're able to comment without cheating, tell me how many three-pointers Michael attempted and how many he made in his 63-point effort 35 years ago at the Boston Garden in Game 2 of that 3-game series that the Celtics ended up sweeping. That'll be fun to do. Let's do that. So let's get to the NBA betting system of the day. And this is Brooklyn facing New Orleans. It's 7:30 tonight. And simply you're going to bet on home teams that are revenging a double-digit loss. And the host or home team is coming off 2 embarrassing road losses installed as favorites. And the embarrassing part is favored, and you should have won the game. At least won the game. Maybe not covered, but this is losing outright. Over the past 10 seasons, 10-3 straight up, 11-2 against the spread for 85%. Over the past 5 seasons, an amazing 9-1 straight up and against the spread for 90% winning bets. This tells you to bet on the New Orleans Pelicans minus the points over the Brooklyn Nets tonight, starting at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. You may remember yesterday we had the Suns as our NBA angle of the day, and that came through in fine fashion. It took overtime, but they did defeat the Milwaukee Bucks outright. Prior to that, I believe we are now 5-1 in the last 6 days at least. I'm just mentioning the record. Yesterday on the Manny's Pub Show of the Predictive Playbook, which starts at 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day, and that's the big show that recaps all the best bets from the Wager Talk pros and a few other special guests as well. We went 5-0 just yesterday, and those are all free picks. And it's I'm the host, I'm the founder of the whole thing, but I encourage you to join us. If nothing else, you're going to get a lot of laughs from the crew, and it is very enjoyable show to be a host and contributor both. So that is the NBA system of the day. So let's see if anybody had time here to answer the question here. If you're in the chat room, you could even do this if it was archived. You could sit down and think about it and just write it down, and even though it's not live, you can still have some fun with it. Well, here's the stats. The Chicago Bulls in that game were 0 for 2 from three-point territory. And Michael attempted none, and obviously he made none. Did not attempt one three-pointer in his 63-point effort. Just last night, Steph Curry made 10 on 17 attempts against the Sixers on the road, and he scored 49 points. So it just shows how much the game has evolved. On the Celtics side, they were 3 for 9 from three-point range, and Larry Bird was 2 for 5. The Bulls were a 14-point underdogs, I mentioned earlier, which you just would never imagine in a million years. Any team that Michael Jordan was on in the playoffs would be a 14-point underdog. But Boston has only lost, that year in 1986, Boston lost one game at home at the Garden. So there you have it. Take the Pelicans tonight as your free NBA angle of the day. And get ready. DJ Big Boss will be up next here in about 5 minutes. And we'll be interested to get started with him. And then there'll be several more guests coming on throughout the day. Ira Silver at 3:45, and then the big show at 4:30 with Rob Vino, Ski Prophet, Rob Vino, Tony Finn, and whoever else has time to stop by. That's how we're making it like a pub atmosphere. You know, everybody gets a link. If they can stop in for 5 minutes or 50 minutes, they do. And it's really catching on. So again, I appreciate you taking the effort to go over to the YouTube channel, give us a like, and subscribe, please. And for the Predictive Playbook and myself, may all the wins be yours.